Tonight, from the city to cottage country, the wildfire haze putting a chokehold on Canada Day long weekend. Off the charts air pollution.
It's a little bit scary, and it's kind of like heavy and stuff.
Popular summer plans on hold.
We can't have campfires right now.
The escalating chaos engulfing France.
The riots are spreading and are becoming every night more violent.
Unrelenting unrest over a deadly police shooting. Plus, a net gain for women's hockey.
There is now a unified voice moving forward.
A groundbreaking deal for a professional league of their own.
CTV National News with Omar Sachedina. Reporting tonight, John Ehrlichman.
Good evening. A thick fog of smoke is smothering long weekend plans with millions under air quality alerts. Here's what the haze from the unprecedented wildfires looks like this evening, covering huge parts of Canada and the United States. CTV's Heather Butts on the health concerns coming at a time when people usually head outdoors.
Toronto's skyline once again shrouded in a heavy haze, wildfire smoke choking the city and some who live here.
I'm 73 and I can go 10K, not 30K, because I have no breath. You know, it kind of robs you.
At one point today, Toronto topped the charts for worst air quality in the world. Montreal not far behind on that list. Millions of Canadians are under special air quality statements with high concentrations of fine particulate matter from raging forest fires, sending smoke across North America and into Europe.
It bothers me from the standpoint I know it means that something's going wrong someplace else.
Hundreds of wildfires are burning across Canada in the worst year on record. In BC, most of the scorched terrain is in the Prince George area, with more than half of those fires sparked by people. That region is now under a complete burn ban. Similar for Ontario, with most of the province now declared a restricted fire zone, meaning no campfires or fireworks in Ontario's popular cottage country.
The restricted fire zone just helps us limit the amount of potential human-caused fires so we can focus on everything else.
Limiting recreational activity on a long weekend. Vince Ouimet runs an outpost near Algonquin Park and says there have been a few campsite cancellations, but those who are visiting this year seem to be compliant.
I think we've had a more understanding camper, probably as a result of being able to see and smell the smoke.
Health effects from wildfire smoke prompted Montreal, Quebec City, and Niagara Falls to cancel Canada Day fireworks.
If I come out, it's really, really bad. Like normally you can't see across the lake. Then I'll have to have a mask on because my breathing gets really tough.
Some areas are expected to see an improvement this weekend, but health officials are urging people to pay attention to the air quality index before heading outside. Heather Butts, CTV News, Toronto.
The family of an Ottawa man who was hit by lightning while golfing on Monday confirmed today he has died in hospital. 36-year-old Jesse Hawkins was on the green with a friend when they were both struck by a lightning bolt that left them with life-threatening injuries. Hawkins, an instructor at Algonquin College, leaves behind a wife and their unborn child. And this was the scene in Calgary yesterday, a sudden and severe thunderstorm battering the city with rain, wind, and even hail. Flooded streets and downed trees made travel impossible in some places. Today, crews and homeowners were out cleaning up the mess. And soaring temperatures in Texas have now killed more than a dozen people. The deaths across the Lone Star State this week coming as temperatures reached upwards of 45 degrees. The scorching weather system is now slowly moving north into Louisiana, Missouri, and Arkansas. Racial tensions are simmering in France with a fresh wave of nighttime protests days after the deadly police shooting of a teenager. CTV's Kevin Gallagher reports on the clashes that have raised global concerns.
Riots continue across France for the fourth straight night as long simmering racial tension has boiled over into nationwide demonstrations. sparked by this video of a traffic stop Tuesday where a police officer shoots and kills a 17-year-old of Algerian and Moroccan descent.
This is a moment for the country to seriously address the deep issues of racism and racial discrimination in law enforcement.
Police stepped up their presence, arresting hundreds as authorities look to restore order. Tensions remain high despite an announcement yesterday that the police officer is in custody and under investigation for voluntary homicide. Widespread vandalism is taking place, with reports of theft as well, concerning tourists in Paris.
I've always known about French protest culture, but seeing something like this, a looting of a store, surprised me.
Nearly 18 years ago, similar unrest erupted for 3 weeks across France, triggered by the deaths of 2 immigrant teenagers electrocuted while hiding from police. The outrage then from mostly young people of Arab and African backgrounds living in working-class Paris suburbs mirrors that of today. President Emmanuel Macron is blaming social media for fueling the riots. Youngsters are copying forms of violence they see, according to Macron. It's intoxicating, like a video game, he says. The French president wants platforms to remove sensitive content and is asking parents to keep their kids home in hopes it will quell the riots. Tonight, the Prime Minister spoke with President Macron about the disruptive demonstrations, as the Canadian government is advising travelers to France to exercise a high degree of caution. John?
Kevin Gallagher in Ottawa tonight, and in the U.S. Capitol there were protests against one of 2 significant legal decisions today. The Supreme Court struck down the government's $400 billion plan for student loan relief.
It is our duty to fight for our freedom!
The program offered to erase a portion of debt for more than 40 million eligible people. The top court said that the Biden administration overstepped its authority in making that promise.
Because of that promise, a lot of us, literally tens of millions of us, made decisions with our lives to move forward.
There was also a major blow for LGBTQ rights. The court ruled that free speech allows businesses to refuse services to same-sex couples. We have an update tonight on the 2 students injured in what police called a hate-motivated attack at the University of Waterloo. Signs of support were left outside the building where it happened. According to investigators, the suspect targeted the gender studies class on Wednesday, stabbing the 2 students and their professor, Katie Fulfer. There is no update on her condition, but police now say the students were treated and released from hospital. The man arrested was an international student who recently graduated. He's facing 10 charges, including one of mischief, which police say is related to the damaging of a pride flag. Canada's economy keeps chugging along despite fears of a looming slowdown. Stats Canada estimates GDP rose nearly 0.5% last month. That was fueled by manufacturing and real estate activity. The economy is now on track to grow more in the second quarter than the Bank of Canada's initial forecast, and that has some economists betting the bank will raise interest rates again in July to cool things down in its fight against inflation. Moving trucks will be crawling through the streets of Montreal tomorrow on what is a summer tradition in Quebec. July 1st is when many people see their leases end. Only this year, finding a new place to live is more difficult than ever. It's a snapshot of an affordability problem happening across the country. CTV's Quebec Bureau Chief Jean-Pierre Beauchemin reports.
Quebec's traditional moving day is right around the corner. Every summer on Canada Day, a large number of leases are up in the province. In Montreal alone, tens of thousands of households pack up and go. This year, though, an unprecedented housing crunch has left several families without a new address. High rent forced Catherine Brunette to give up her apartment. She's put her belongings in storage. She can't find a new place for her and her 2 teenagers. Brunette made dozens of calls and found nothing suited to her family she could afford. Advocates helping tenants find temporary arrangements say they've never had this much work to do.
This is the worst year that I've seen in my almost 3 decades of work in the field of tenants' rights.
It's an issue right across the country as the population grows. We just hit 40 million.
Ownership, condos, everything, it's in short supply, and so prices are up and affordability is a challenge.
The Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation says roughly 260,000 homes were built last year and forecasts only around 210,000 this year. At least double that number is needed.
Higher interest rates, the labor shortage, as well as the higher cost of materials have all played a part in slowing down the pace of construction.
If people are able to get into home ownership, the amount of debt that they're taking on is absolutely enormous.
In Quebec, 14 mayors signed a letter this week calling for a public lease registry, so tenants could see the past rent on any apartment to see if the cost is justified or contestable. Just one tool in building a better market, they say.
We don't want to be building a strategy based on emergency on 1st of July. There has to be more homes. There has to be more construction.
That won't help the dozens of families moving out, still searching for a place to call home. Geneviève Beauchemin, CTV News, Montreal.
A young hiker missing in a BC park for more than 2 days has emerged safely out of the woods.
Aside from some mosquito bites, she is safe and unharmed.
16-year-old Esther Wang walked out of the trail on her own 54 hours after she was separated from her group. Search efforts were launched to find the teenager. Wang, an air cadet, learned survival skills and went prepared for the hike with food and water. A long-running rivalry in women's hockey is coming to an end with the announcement today of a new professional league. Many details are not yet known, but it's set to launch next year with some serious financial backing, and it will bring together the top players in the game. It also appears there will only be an original 6 group of teams to start, which could leave some athletes shut out. Here's CTV's Adrian Gabriel.
And left open, coin comes loose, shot, Nurse scores!
A historic power play for the women's game.
And massive news for women's hockey.
The news breaking on sportscasts across the country. The Professional Hockey Federation and the Professional Women's Hockey Players Association announcing a merger today that will result in a brand new pro women's league in North America.
What's new about this is the way it'll be structured, and I think that's exciting. I think if this brings in more fans, that's awesome news.
Though the move doesn't come without controversy. This past season, the PHF iced approximately 160 players, with 100 playing in the PWHPA. Initial reports are that the new league will start with only 6 franchises, which could leave dozens of players without a team next season.
Certainly it's coming at a price. As we've heard, PHF players right now, contracts have been voided.
Canadian hockey star and gold medalist Sarah Nurse tweeting out, "I am sensitive and understand the mixed feelings today, but this journey in the pursuit of professionalism has been monumental."
Toronto, their first ever Isabel Cup!
Those following the rise of the women's game say this amalgamation will bring the best female players in the world under one umbrella. The yet-to-be-named league will also have the significant financial backing of Mike Walter, the co-owner of the LA Dodgers. Among those serving as board members, female tennis icon Billie Jean King.
But I do believe it will be beneficial long-term for both growth, investment, and overall development of the league.
Today's announcement also receiving the endorsement of the National Hockey League, saying in a statement that we already have initiated discussions with representatives of this unified group regarding how we can work together to continue to grow the women's game.
The new league will launch this January, and with it the hopes of a bright future, inspiring hockey fans across the country. John.
All right, Adrian, thanks. Time for a break, but when we come back, remembering an Oscar-winning actor.
It's because you're beautiful, inside and out.
The extraordinary legacy of Alan Arkin. Plus,
it conveys a certain message.
Crowing over a public art installation in the nation's capital. Some sad news to pass along tonight from the world of entertainment. Oscar winner Alan Arkin has died. The Brooklyn-born actor is being remembered for a string of powerful performances in both farcical comedies and chilling dramas. CTV's Atlantic Bureau Chief Chris Ashkate has more on the character actor with a Canadian connection.
Known for his remarkable versatility in comedy and drama, American actor Alan Arkin could do it all, but remembered best by many for the 1979 comedy the in-laws.
I can't take it anymore. When people talk to me about my movies, that's one of the first ones they ever talk about. I mean, I can walk down the street almost any given day and people start screaming, Serpentine!
What? Serpentine!
A member of Chicago's famed Second City comedy troupe, Arkin got his acting debut on Broadway in the 1960s and did a breakout performance in 1966's Cold War spoof, The Russians Are Coming, The Russians Are Coming.
Some of they're Russian.
A nice little boy there.
Over his more than 70-year career, Arkin appeared in more than 100 big screen and small screen features, including multiple stints on The Muppet Show.
I've worked very hard on that final number. I've been told it's the kind of number that can really grab you.
He could be funny, he could be menacing, sometimes within the same movie, but he always made it look easy.
And the Oscar goes to...
In 2007, Arkin won the Oscar for Best Supporting Actor in Little Miss Sunshine for being a heroin-addicted but loving and supporting grandfather.
You know what a loser is? A real loser is somebody that's so afraid of not winning, they don't even try.
Alan Arkin managed somehow to make him compelling, to make him lovable, but also a little bit edgy.
Alan Arkin lived in Cape Breton part-time and would volunteer for CTV Atlantic's Christmas Daddies fundraiser and got actors like Robin Williams to help.
All over Nova Scotia wouldn't be having a Christmas unless we were screaming at the audience to send their money in so they can do it.
Yeah, send your money in right now, eh?
Arkin died yesterday at his home in Carlsbad, California, with his family calling him a uniquely talented force of nature and a loving husband, father, and great-grandfather. Kristanachkate, CTV News, Halifax.
One of the franchise faces for the Toronto Raptors is reportedly heading to Houston.
Barnes to trigger. Here's VanVleet. Got it off in time.
According to ESPN, Fred VanVleet has signed with the Rockets as a free agent. He'll be paid $130 million U.S. over 3 years. The Raptors took a chance on VanVleet in 2016 after he was not picked in the NBA draft. He is one of just a handful of undrafted players to become an All-Star, and his reported contract would be the largest for any undrafted player in league history. The president of the team, VanVleet, is leaving as one of 85 people named today by Governor General Mary Simon to Canada's highest civilian honor. Toronto Raptors boss Masai Ujiri was named an officer to the Order of Canada for his contributions both on and off the basketball court. Cree artist Kent Monkman was also named an officer for his role as one of Canada's most dynamic contemporary artists. And actor Dan Levy named a member of the order for his trailblazing advocacy of LGBTQ2S+ communities. Still ahead.
I mean, that changes everything, doesn't it?
A popular sweetener under scrutiny. We're learning more tonight about the questions of safety swirling around a common sugar substitute. Aspartame has been a part of many foods and fizzy drinks for decades, and it will reportedly be declared a possible cause for cancer. But as CTV's Alberta Bureau Chief Bill Fortier reports, the potential risk is just one part of the story.
For many, this represents refreshment without regret. But the much-studied substance that makes diet soft drinks sugar-free and is also in coffee sweeteners, certain gum, and even some toothpaste is back under the microscope. According to a report from Reuters, the World Health Organization is set to classify aspartame as a possible carcinogen.
I mean, that changes everything, doesn't it?
It's not going to slow down any of my habits.
The message from experts: don't throw out all your diet pop just yet.
I wouldn't panic at this point.
I think we need to wait for the report.
The reported classification, possible carcinogen, is the WHO's second lowest level of concern.
Possible carcinogen is something where it's not conclusive.
The leaked information comes from one WHO study looking into whether aspartame can cause cancer. A second, happening simultaneously, is evaluating whether the amount in common products poses a risk.
The key comes down to how much are you taking.
This is an ingredient that's undergone numerous safety assessments and passed every time.
Despite that reassurance, the ruling could be a blow to the food and drink industry on the heels of another WHO guideline released last month advising people not to use sugar substitutes to lose weight. In response to the latest news, the International Sweeteners Association says it has serious concerns with preliminary speculation which may mislead consumers about the safety of aspartame. Both reports come out July 14th and may include recommendations for a new acceptable daily intake of aspartame. Under current Canadian guidelines, anything less than 13 cans of diet soft drink per day is considered safe for the average person. Bill Fortier, CTV News, Edmonton.
After the break, when art reflects roadkill. We leave you tonight with an introspective piece of art reflecting a part of life so many of us drive right by. CTV's Judy Trin on the roadkill inspiring a more thoughtful relationship with the natural world.
In a city with a massive spider, stone angels, and colorful happy faces, it's this pile of tires that's stopping people in their tracks.
My first reaction was, this is a pile of garbage.
Something strange. Something strange, yes. It's like...
It's a giant dead crow, a piece of public art titled When the Rubber Meets the Road.
This sculpture is more than 5 meters long. It's made from more than 50 tires. And it's meant to symbolize roadkill, a collision between human and natural worlds.
Death doesn't have to be ugly. It is actually a part of the cycle of nature.
The idea took flight 5 years ago in the mind of PEI artist Gerald Beaulieu.
Crows actually dine on roadkill. They do us the service of kind of cleaning up some of the carnage of our commuter culture, but they also sometimes succumb to that and become the victims of roadkill.
The hand-cut pieces of rubber tires from cars, bikes, and tractors turned into feathers is resonating.
A lot about car dependency and recklessness of how people operate their vehicles.
The National Capital Commission decided to display this art at Le Breton Flats, west of Parliament, on a strip of grass between light rail tracks and bike paths that was the site of an old landfill. It was a choice made to drive contemplation.
The whole mess that we leave behind ourselves, the whole humanity. We leave all these rubber materials, all this unrecyclable garbage.
This roadkill art is on loan from the artist, giving people in the capital 1 year to ponder the crow's deeper messages and dark warnings. Judy Trin, CTV News, Ottawa.
That's it for us tonight. Morella is here tomorrow. I'm John Ehrlichman. For Omar and all of us at CTV National News, thanks for watching. Good night.
Five crucial questions to expose the truth. Who's at risk? What needs to change? When will justice be done?
There was actually a plot to kill you.
Where's the proof? Why did this happen? Watch W5 Saturdays at 7 on CTV.